This program is brought to you by the Genesis Communications Network, a world leader in talk radio since 1998. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Broadcasting and streaming live all across America. This is Home Talk USA with Michael King, where we will discuss topics pertaining to your home with industry-leading experts. Michael King is a licensed general contractor with more than 30 years of experience in home improvements and the author of Contracting with the King. Join us this hour for our segment Invent America with your co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton. Discover what's next in the home improvement industry and explore new products and innovations. Or if you have that next great big idea, learn what it takes to bring your invention to the world as Michael King and Rita Crompton talk to America's inventors and innovators. Remember, the America of tomorrow is being invented today. We invite you to visit us at HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, we proudly present Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country, Home Talk USA, with your host, the Cajun contractor, Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yahee! Welcome. That's right. America Today. That's what it's all about. The technology of tomorrow. Wow. I'd like to welcome my sidekick, the Inventor Lady herself, my co-host, Miss Rita Crompton. Hey, Rita. How you doing?
I'm fine today. It's so nice to hear your voice.
It's great technology when we can do this radio program at different parts of the country at the same time. Think about it. You know, I'm in my studio here in the Big Easy, and you're in your studio out in the what is it? The Smoky Mountains areas. What area of Tennessee mountains you're in?
I'm up on a mountain knoll in the Cherokee National Forest.
That's what it is. It's just a great time where we can educate America on home improvement information and technology. Now, for my audience that might not be familiar with the Inventor Lady, why don't you we got a whole bunch of new affiliates coming in and audience, and tell them who the Inventor Lady is and what you do.
Inventor Lady helps inventors license their intellectual property, which means basically we're renting a patent to a different company that's going to make it, sell it, and send a check. And that's really important for inventors. It's simply because, you know, if they've had an idea, if they're really good at coming up with an idea, they're generally not really good business people. You know, some are. There's always exceptions. They're not good at manufacturing. They're not good at marketing and selling. And so the licensee now will do the heavy lifting, and they also then defend the patent and pay for the product liability insurance. Well, for some inventors, those are just huge mountains to climb. And I was talking to a gentleman the other day from Western Tennessee, and when we started actually talking the numbers, he had no idea that's the way the numbers worked. And so what we do is we help inventors really understand the way the pendulum swings, startup versus licensing, and then all the steps that they have to go through so that they can do a better job and not get taken advantage of. That was one of the topics after the National Hardware Show that I would really like to do is how do you pick a good service provider, and how do you make sure you're careful of some of those predatory outfits that are out there?
It would just be a shame, you know, that a technology of the future will never hit the racks because of not only the bureaucracy but the steps it takes to really patent that product. Well, come up with the idea, put it in writing, patent it, and then eventually manufacturing it when it could be a deterrence. And it just would be a shame that it could possibly deter a great idea from actually coming to fruition. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense?
It does, and it's amazing how often that happens, that, you know, an inventor just doesn't understand the early steps, they make some mistakes, and then it's over. And so that's what we try to avoid is having them, get them on the right path, help them avoid making the mistakes and the expensive mistakes so that they don't have money left at the end to really do some of that marketing and showing off, like going to the National Hardware Show. Yeah. And so the topic for today is it's not just hardware. I mean, it should be called, the big box store trade show because it's anything and everything that you would find in your Home Depot, Target, Walmart, Bed Bath & Beyond, the chains, the Ace Hardwares, and the True Value. So when people say, well, it's the hardware show, it's like, it's a lot more than just the hardware show.
Well, in a couple of weeks, we're going to be hopping that big bird, me and you, and heading to Las Vegas. And I'm excited. It's been a while since I've got out of the studio, because of COVID. But you're going to be there with, 20 or 30 new inventors, I think?
Well, right in the middle there, we've got 25 new products that we're taking. And so everybody's real excited. There's been some new additions made for people. So, any of your listeners that want to see what's going to be available can go on to either the hardware show site and be able to click on Inventor Lady, or they can go to my website and click on to see, a description of all the products. They're allowing us this year to upload all of the sales flyers. They never did that before. Wow. They're allowing us to link to the videos on YouTube prior to the show opening, and they never used to do that. So people can actually set appointments to come and talk to, our different inventors at the show. And the other thing they're allowing all of our inventors to do is demos at the booth, but we're allowed to post the timing of these.
Wow.
So you can say, we want to see this product. When is the inventor going to be demoing this product? And they actually had us, fill out a schedule. So there will be demos going on at our space all day long, every day, which is wonderful.
So what you're trying to say, that they are more exhibitor friendly now?
They are. Prior to the show, they're more, and attendees as well, because now these attendees will be able to get on and go shopping. So even if, they're an attendee, they may have gotten a badge, but something happens and they can't make it, they could still get on and see all the products, and that's new. So I'm proud of them. They've done a good job getting better after, post-pandemic, everything should be better, right?
Yep. Well, we got a great show. Can you tell us a little bit in a couple minutes who's going to be on the show?
Alex Shane and Haviva Shane, father-daughter team, have got a product, and I'm focusing on the things that are not considered hardware today because the show is so much bigger than just hardware. So both of the products are going to be, something that someone would use in the home. So we're still talking homeowners, do-it-yourselfers, but products that would not fall into the hardware category. Robin Benas is our other inventor who was on, and Michael Miller is going to kind of wind it up with us because he did the plumbing products, so he's very familiar with the idea that there's more to the hardware show than new hammers and ladders, although we've got some of those too, but, today's a different focus.
You got it. Well, I tell you, and you got Michael Miller again. We had him last week, right? Your product expert?
We did. He's our product expert. He can fill in for us when we've got questions on some of these different categories. Been around the industry for a long, long time. Well, as long as I have. I guess, God, we're all getting old, Michael. But, he's got that experience from the other side of the aisle. And I think it's not just a matter of what I'm telling inventors on how not to make the mistakes, but on his side of the business, how he says, do it this way. And we're talking the same language. And so it's a big deal.
Well, hold on that thought right there, Miss Rita. We're going to have to take a short break. Got to pay some bills. That's right. But we're going to come back with our first guest here on the Invent America radio show through Home Talk USA radio program. This is our little new segment that we do once a week. We feature, me and Rita feature some upcoming inventors and technology of the future. That's what we do here each week and every week. Education, information, so you can make a very intelligent decision on your next home improvement project. I'm the Cajun man from the Bayou Land, the Cajun contractor, along with Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady. I'll be right back. Yay!
Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Welcome back. That's right. Along with my sidekick, the Inventor Lady herself, this is Home Talk USA radio program, the Invent America segment of our show, where each week and every week we do a little segment to help all our great inventors around the country. And hey, this show is starting to Rita start gaining some international threads here. You know that, right?
I am so glad.
But who's our first guest? Well, guests, I mean.
We have a team today. Alex Shane is our first inventor, and joining us is Haviva Shane, his daughter and a partner. Alex invented a product called FaucetPal, and it's a retro device that is just amazing in the way it helps a homeowner save those precious water resources. And, I mean, we've all heard about it the last few years. Water is precious. And so Alex has joined us today because we're focusing on the fact that the National Hardware Show is not just about hammers and ladders and everything. It's about a lot of other types of products. And this is something that the homeowner can use. It's a retrofit. So, Alex, Haviva, thank you so much for joining us today. And tell our listeners a little bit more about the details of what FaucetPal does.
Absolutely. Thanks, Rita. I'll start. This is Haviva, and like you said, the FaucetPal is a retrofit water-saving device for the faucet. And in moments, it turns almost any faucet into a zero-waste faucet while making the faucet more accessible. So what the FaucetPal does, it replaces the aerator on the faucet, and it has an ergonomic handle that you gently press with the back of your hand, just naturally as if you were putting your hands under the sink to access the water. You gently press it with the back of your hands to dispense water. And then when you move your hands away from the handle, the water flow immediately stops. Thus, there's no waste when you're soaping your hands, brushing your teeth, shaving, and doing other usual tasks at the faucet that ordinarily would waste thousands of gallons of water per year. So, because it's an innovative product without a similar, competitor on the marketplace, so it's a bit difficult to describe. But basically, once you would remove your existing aerator, install the FaucetPal, then you would set your faucet valves to the temperature and pressure that you like, and then you don't have to operate your valves. You would just gently, put pressure on that handle, and then the water dispenses. And again, when you move your hands away, it immediately stops. So there's no waste when you're doing all these activities, and it also provides access to the faucet for people with difficulty turning the valves, small children who maybe couldn't access the faucet valves, and it makes using the faucet more hygienic because you don't have to touch your dirty, normally when you're washing your hands, your hands are dirty, you touch your faucet valves to turn the water on, you soap up your hands, wash them, and then you touch those same valves again to turn the water off. Here, since you're not needing to operate the valves once you install the FaucetPal, you're not having to then touch them after your hands are clean. You're simply moving your hands away from that handle and drying your hands or doing whatever you're doing and then not recontaminating your hands with those dirty valves. So the FaucetPals also help people with family members who have Alzheimer's and might forget to turn off the faucet, as it provides for an automatic shut-off and eliminates this problem. And then installing the FaucetPal will also solve a leaky faucet. So if you go into our website, FaucetPal.com, you can see a video that really shows how the device is installed and operates.
So, and it's a wonderful device. I've seen it working, and even when someone says, oh, there's other things out there that do this, no, there is not. So, Alex, during all of this process, what has been your biggest challenge of getting FaucetPal to the marketplace?
Well, it's probably like everybody else, the learning curve. The production was the main, and development, testing, et cetera, what everybody else is going through, I'm sure. And as for the Correct.
You've actually gone into productions. I know that when we were at the show last year and I met you, you actually had some product that was ready to go. So can you fill orders at this point?
Oh, absolutely.
Well,
absolutely.
There you go. Michael, all of those stores out there that have been listening to your show forever, they can place an order for FaucetPals this afternoon. And we would love to see that happen. So in the meantime now, Alex, when you're getting teed up to go to the National Hardware Show, you've kind of gotten to the point now where you've done a really good job getting it out there, and you're ready then for the next step of being able to license your product.
Right. I would like to be able to concentrate on developing the products to cover the rest of the house and eliminate all the water waste in the house. So
I thought it was interesting in your bio where you said, you really became conscious of this when you were out sailing and on a boat, and there you became very much aware of the need of conserving any drop of water that you possibly could.
Well, absolutely. You only have as much water as in your tank, so you have to make every drop count. And so,
absolutely, good inspiration to be out there on the ocean.
Let me ask you this, guys. This is Mr. King. I have a saying: "I was green before green was even cool." And listen to Havana, I think. Haviva. I'm so sorry. Yeah. What makes it? I was listening to you. What makes the product green, though? Itself. Helping to the green movement.
Right. Well, so, usually, washing your hands, for example, or let's do brushing your teeth. A lot of people we know, you always hear, turn off the water when you're brushing your teeth. We know a lot of people don't really do that, right? So they'll turn the water on, wet their toothbrush, and then let the water be pouring while they're sitting there brushing their teeth, for whatever, a minute or so, and while the water's just pouring out of your faucet at that point. So, but if you have the FaucetPal installed, because it creates automatic shut-off, you would basically, put pressure on the handle to dispense water to wet your toothbrush. You take that pressure away, there's no water wasting for that whole time you're brushing your teeth. Same thing with soaping your hands.
Guys, I have to cut you off, but we're just simply out of time. Rita, how can we learn a little bit more about FaucetPal?
FaucetPal has a website, FaucetPal.com. They're also listed on the Inventor Lady site, and they will be doing demos at the National Hardware Show.
Say that website one more time.
FaucetPal.com.
FaucetPal.com. Hey, guys, Alex, Havina, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
All right. I tell you, Rita, that was a great, guys. All right, Rita, we're going to take a short break along with Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady herself. I'm the Cajun contractor, Michael King. This is Home Talk USA, streaming live on the World Wide Web at the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. You can catch our archives 24/7, 365 on the Home Talk USA website at hometalkusa.com and also at inventorlady.com also. All right, we're going to take a short break. I'll be right back. Yay!
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
All right, welcome back to the only home improvement show dedicated to you, the American consumer. Don't forget, we are streaming live on the World Wide Web at HomeTalkUSA.com. You can also check out our television show at HomeTalkTV.com, HomeTalkTV.com. And if you want some more information about the Invent America segment of our program, you can go to InventorLady.com. And also we do post that information on our website, again, at HomeTalkUSA.com. All right, Rita, man, I'm excited to talk to our next guest because I have no idea what the bundle buds are. So we're going to find out now. That name does not tell you what it is. So, I mean, bundle buds, I mean, I don't know. That sounds like a beer commercial. I don't know.
Well, our next inventor is Robin Benas, and he did invent bundle buds. And he is right now working as an engineering manager for an electronics company. And, you know, this must be a typo, Robin, but you said you've been in electrical and mechanical for about 54 years. That doesn't even sound possible. Good for you. You must have started like in kindergarten. But so tell us, answer the question for Michael. What is bundle buds?
It's a small device. It's a small rectangle. You can hold maybe 2 or 3 of them in the palm of your hand. And it basically replaces the knot in rope. You want to secure a couple of lines, a couple of ends of rope. And it does, just like I said, it replaces the knot. It makes it very quick and easy to secure the ends of the rope, very quick and easy to release it. Whereas if you have a big bundle of material, for example, cardboard, boxes, I use it to secure the mattress on top of my car. Anywhere you wrap a rope around something, anything, and you need to tie it. One of the things I learned the hard way was if you have a very large stack of cardboard, which I had to take to recycle, and you want to secure it really tightly so you can pick it up and move it around, it's difficult to do, especially when it's 30-degree weather over here in Georgia. And it's a very common problem. And it's very difficult to do anything like that when you're wearing a pair of gloves. So when I designed the bundle bud, it really was for that problem, where I wanted to be able to tie a bundle tightly without a lot of effort. I'm 72 years old, and my hands are not made for abuse. So what you can do then is you can tie a bundle very tightly, very easily, without much effort, and secure it without a knot. So you're not wrapping it around each other. You're not putting your finger down like wrapping a gift to hold it in place while you secure it. And even if you do that, the rope's not all that secure, really. It moves around, things loosen up, and I also learned that the hard way. Once you tighten it up with a bundle bud and lock it in, there you go.
Yeah, we live up here on a mountaintop, and the wind blows. And, you get all these packages coming in, and you got to break down the boxes, get them into, recycle, and holy cow, they can blow like crazy, yes.
Sure. And, if you're transporting it especially, in my case, I have quite a distance to travel up the hill to get to the driveway from our basement. And then I said I learned it the hard way. I grabbed a pile of the cardboard that I first bundled up, which was a pretty large stack, and I lost half of it on the way up the hill. So I said to myself, there's got to be a better way. So after about 12 prototypes and, came up with a better way to hold it together.
Yeah, isn't that the opening line for most inventors? There has got to be a better way. And so, inventors go through, the steps like you've done. You find the need, you do the research, you get, the prototypes done and the patent filed and everything. But for a lot of inventors, marketing can be a killer. One, they're generally out of money, and two, that's not their specialty, so they don't really know what they're doing. What have you done for marketing?
I haven't done a great deal of marketing on this particular product because I was looking forward to the National Hardware Show, where the timing was good, really.
You said the magic words. You said what I was looking for.
It's not a commercial by any means. I had an electronics company many years ago, and 80% of my sales I got myself, even though I had sales reps, because I believe in word-of-mouth, person-to-person contact. If I get to a point where I'm going to manufacture these myself, for example, I would be contacting people like Home Depot, Ace Hardware, guys like that. This particular product is very easy to demonstrate, so it's perfect for shopping networks like QVC. I would take that route. I would be calling, I'd be visiting, I'd be doing all the legwork, as well as YouTube, Google ads, the technical stuff also. You have to do everything at the same time. Sort of in parallel.
Well, and you walked yourself right into the next question, because when we're at the National Hardware Show, all of those people are going to be there.
Yeah, and I would look for companies with synergy, that maybe sell similar products. This would be a nice mix for them to integrate my product with their standard products, for example. I would look for licensing opportunities, maybe a customer from my IP. All these different opportunities. Open mind. I look for raw material suppliers also, because I'm always looking for sources of material that I can use in my next invention.
Right.
The whole point is to keep my eyes and ears open and learn for, and also too, it's very important. I can see what other materials out there, what other gadgets are out there. How can I improve on them? What problems do they solve? Can I do it better? Always looking for that kind of thing and storing it away for future reference. Always looking for the next project.
Robin,
right. Go ahead, Michael. Sorry.
Yeah, Robin, I really need to ask you, though. I mean, you didn't wake up one day. Now, you touched on it just a little bit, but you didn't wake up one day and said, "Hey, I'm going to invent a rope with no knots in it, or no knotted rope. Whatever how you want to look at it, the cart or the horse or the horse or the. But how did you actually come up with this idea?
Well, I sort of simulated it. I have a pile of cardboard that I keep. My wife almost threw it away today. And I use that just to experiment with, really. Wow. For example, in my profession, in my office, I have a lab for research. So what I did was I have a 3D printer of my own in my basement and an NC mill. That's what I need. I'm kind of a tool freak anyway.
Yeah.
I'm kind of like Tim Taylor, right? Anyway,
well,
so
Robin, hold on.
I sat down. Yeah,
hold on that thought right there. I want you to finish your story. We're going to come back off a break. We're going to talk to Robin. We're going to have our next guest, Michael Miller, also on the line right now. I don't want to get rid of Robin right now, so just hold on right there. I got to hear that story, because this is blowing me away right now. But hey, this is the Cajun Man from the Bayou Land Alone with Rita Crompton right here on the Invent America segment of HomeTalkUSA.com. We're going to take a short break. We'll be right back. Yay!
USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HomeTalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HomeTalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yeah, hey, welcome back. That's right, to the only home improvement show dedicated to you, the American consumer. Don't forget, we are streaming live on the World Wide Web at the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlife.com. Along with my co-host, the Inventor Lady herself, Miss Rita Crompton. We're talking to Robin Benas. He invented a product called the Bundle Buds, and before the break, we got caught, and I wanted to hear Robin's story, because he didn't wake up one day and say, "Hey, I'm going to get invent a knotless rope that you don't need a knot on a rope." I wanted to hear that story. But Robin, just finish what you were telling us.
Okay. What prompted me to invent the thing was pain. I had 3 very large piles of cardboard that I had to take to recycling, and these were 3 feet tall. They were big, big bundles. And after about, I'd say a half hour or so of tying those up with rope, conventional knots, pressing on them, pulling on them, my hands were so sore they were starting to cramp up. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. So I left one of the bundles aside, and I took the other 2 away. And I still have that bundle. So I looked at and kind of visualized, really. It was mostly geometry, I looked at it and said, what can I use to secure the ropes other than a knot?
And basically, there was nothing there that you could go to, right, Robin? There was
no, not at all. No,
yeah.
It was all visualization. And I made sketches. I made a lot of different sketches. I must have been 30 or 40 different sketches, different geometries. Right. I decided on a wedge type of device. That way, the tighter or the more weight on it, the tighter it gets. It pulls into the wedge. So I came up with all these little geometries. And then I got to my 3D printer. I made, a dozen different configurations. And it was an evolution. I subtracted some things that didn't work and added things that did work and ended up with a simple little single plastic piece that's the size of a matchbook and it seemed to do everything it was supposed to do. And I kept that design.
I got to run, Robin, right quick. Give us that. I think we could find your information, Rita, at the Inventor Lady website, right?
Yes, sir. He's posted there with links to all of his videos.
Well, Robin, I definitely want to thank you for being. We're just short of time, man. I'd like to spend a little bit more time with you, but I'm going to be at the National Hardware Show also, and I'm going to get a chance to meet you also. So thank you so much again, okay?
Well, thank you for your time. Take care.
Right. Great. Now we're going to go to, I think we're going to go to Michael Miller, your product expert right now. He's on the line right now. Right, Rita?
Yes, he is. Michael, thank you so much for joining us. And, I know that we're a little bit short on time, but I want to ask you a really key question here. And we're going to the National Hardware Show. It's kind of a misnomer. We laughed about that earlier, that it could be called, the big box store trade show. Why is a professional trade show so valuable for a new product?
Absolutely. And by the way, thank you very much for having me on. Really, the key thing is almost like the lottery. You can't win if you don't play, right? And that's really what the National Hardware Show is for people, that you're able to interact with other inventors, also people that are in the trade, that know what's in the stores, that know what products are, what products could cost, all the different facets, patenting, and you have all the different lecture series that are going on throughout the show that can help people to really understand the craft of getting a product to market and what you should do about inventing a product. What are those stages and what do you need to learn to be successful at it? And that's really the key. And plus, you have all the retailers go and show up there at the store or at the show. It's phenomenal. There's no single place that you could go to get that much information and have that much exposure for your product.
And I've told inventors that it's like you can meet more people in 3 days than you could in 6 months trying to get out there online. You can find out about price points. You can find out about packaging options. Different stores have different requirements. And if you don't know that, you can end up with 25,000 boxes in your basement, and they're asking you to do it a different way. And that's kind of, their right to say, no, we need it to show this way. And so you get all of that information at the trade show.
And the real reality of the real world is many cases people are not answering their phones. But in the National Hardware Show, they're coming up and asking you questions, and that's really key.
Well, Mike, we got to let you go. We're just out of time, my friend. Thank you so much, and we'll get you on. Rita will have you on probably every other week, but keep educating. But we're excited to go out there and go look at some new products out there at the National Hardware Show. Mike, how can people reach you, Michael?
Absolutely. Actually, they can reach out to Rita. You can also check out my LinkedIn, Michael Miller on there, and it has all my contact information right there on LinkedIn.
All right, we're going to take a short break. We got to go. We're going to be right back. Wrapping up Home Talk USA, the Invent America part of our radio program here on the Home Improvement Broadcasting Network. Streaming live on the World Wide Web at the Genesis Communication Radio Network at GCNlive.com. I'll be right back, along with Rita Crompton, the Inventor Lady herself. Yay!
Welcome back to Home Talk USA with Michael King. Do you have questions about your next home improvement project or home repairs? Now you can chat with verified home repair and home improvement experts in just minutes. Get the help you need by visiting HometalkUSA.com. One of the best resources for home improvement information around today. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HometalkUSA.com. And now, back to Invent America from the #1 home improvement radio program in the country. Home Talk USA with your host, the Cajun contractor Michael King, and his co-host, the Inventor Lady, Rita Crompton.
Yeah, that's right. We are reinventing America. That's the way we want to say it here, and giving an opportunity for up-and-coming inventors to display their talents. And who knows, Rita, maybe we even can get their product on the market. But what is the way that somebody can get on the radio program?
All they have to do is go to inventorlady.com, and that button that says, would you like to be on the show? Click on it and fill out the information. It's really easy.
And say it again, that website?
Inventorlady.com.
Inventorlady.com. Rita, another great show. We got another one in the can, and hey, we're rolling along, and I can't wait to talk to you next week with some new guests, new topics right here on the Invent America radio program. On behalf of the Cajun Man and Miss Rita, hey, we'll see you next week. Yay! Y'all come back now, yeah?
Talk USA with Michael King is produced by Home Talk Media in association with King's Broadcasting Network and Genesis Communications Network. Broadcast and streamed live from the great state of Louisiana. Host and producer, the Cajun contractor, Michael King. Executive producer, Michael Mellinson. Affiliate and sponsor relations, Joe Spera. Comptroller, Sheila Gregoire. Assistant producer, Christian Bethencourt. Board operators provided by Genesis Communications Network. And I'm your announcer, Kevin McCarthy. Music includes King's Creole by Prolific Arts, Cajun Jam by StockMusic.com, and Zydeco City by Steve Rice. Home Talk USA with Michael King is sponsored by Benas, pest solutions for your home, garden, and lawn. Decorators, take outdoor living beyond ordinary. Aztec Washer, innovative roofing solutions. Seal it right, seal it tight. Trimislab, replace rotten or missing wood with Trimislab expansion joint repair. Masonry Cosmetics, change the color of any porous masonry with proven masonry staining. Green Products Company, #1 in wood preservatives. Preserve, protect, and clean what you value, and most of all, make it last. Bond Products, manufacturers of InstaBind, the world's first do-it-yourself carpet binding solution. Deckrite, life is tough. Make your exterior flooring tougher. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Home Talk USA with Michael King. Until next time, visit us at HometalkUSA.com. Your best life begins with your best home, and there's no place like Home Talk. That's HometalkUSA.com.
Yay!